Hi there. Welcome to Identifying Dynamics Opportunities within your existing client base. My name is Michelle Cerna, and I am your host for our webinar today. A little bit about me so you know who you're talking with. I am first and foremost the mom of 4 humans and 3 dogs. Mimi to 2 little ones, and we all live in Southern California, just about an hour north of Los Angeles. And I work here at True North as the Director of Ideation Strategy. So what I do here is I help our clients talk about their big ideas, their goals, their challenges, and help turn them into their business strategies. Internally, I do the same for us. I help us generate revenue, support our internal teams, and make sure that we're growing sustainably. So I'm here today to help talk about the Dynamics community. I have been within the community for over 12 years, and I've done probably way more than 75, but that's what I could think of in the last decade or so, implementations of Dynamics GP and Business Central. So I'm more on the ERP side of the Dynamics world, but True North also supports the customer engagement side, the Power Platform, and really just Dynamics 365 in general. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how you can reach out to those clients that you already have and identify different opportunities. If you have any questions throughout our webinar today, please feel free to pop them into the Q&A. You'll find that button up at the top toolbar of your Teams meeting that we are currently on. Feel free to add in some questions. I have my peer Cameron on the call with us who will be watching that Q&A channel for us and will let us know if we have questions come in. Additionally, we will be sending out this deck as well as a few cheat sheets and some information to you tomorrow, just recapping our webinar with that recording. What we're going to cover today, we will be going through what is Dynamics 365, just a high-level overview and introduction. Won't be spending too much time on that, but if you have questions about what the different products are and they aren't answered today, please let us know. I'm happy to do a deep dive with you about the different products that are part of this platform. We'll also talk about how to identify hidden Dynamics opportunities, what you do once you have an opportunity, how you can leverage partnerships, example questions for you, and then some of the next steps. Let's start off with the basics and discuss what Dynamics 365 is before we hop into why it is a game changer for MSPs. So Dynamics 365 is Microsoft's suite of business applications covering everything from accounting and financials to customer relationship management. You can think of it as the business operations layer of the Microsoft ecosystem. So if your clients are already using Microsoft 365, Teams, Azure, then Dynamics 365 is just kind of a natural extension of the products that they're already using and products that you're already offering to them. At its core, Dynamics 365 is a set of cloud-based business applications that are designed truly just to help companies manage their operations and those finances, their sales, their customer relationships, all within the Microsoft ecosystem. So it brings together ERP or enterprise resource planning, CRM, customer relationship management, and some automation tools into one integrated platform. So ERP is going to be the backbone of a business. It helps companies manage their financials, their supply chain, inventory, operations. Dynamics 365 can offer ERP solutions like Business Central for the small to medium-sized businesses and finance and operations for larger enterprises. So if your customers are still using outdated on-premise ERP systems, or they've outgrown their systems that don't follow GAAP principles like QuickBooks, this is a huge opportunity to start introducing them to the cloud. CRM is all about managing your customer interactions. So whether that's sales, customer service, customer insights, or marketing, Dynamics 365 CRM, or also called customer engagement applications, help businesses track leads, automate their sales processes, and they can also enhance customer engagement. The nice part about being part of the Microsoft platform is that these all have built-in AI and automation to help give companies tools to close those deals faster and provide a better service. We wrap in these wonderful applications with the Power Platform. Where that stands out is that it allows businesses to extend capabilities even further with more automation, analytics, and AI. So, for example, Power BI allows companies to turn their data into actionable insights. It's that analytical reporting feature. Power Automate is helping us automate processes with different workflows across different apps. And things like Power Apps allows businesses to create custom applications without extensive coding. These are all meant to be low code or no code applications that we are able to utilize. The great thing is that these are all built on Microsoft Azure, meaning it's secure, it's scalable, it's familiar for you and for your clients, especially when you are already managing Microsoft 365 environments. So your clients can trust you with their cloud and security needs. This is just, again, that natural progression where you can help optimize their business operations as well. There's a few different products, and this is kind of a visual that can help show how all of these pieces fit together. So because it's an entirely cloud-based platform, Dynamics 365 allows us to access tools and data from anywhere. So whether you're at the office, at home, you're on the go, it's available to you. So for example, a few weeks ago, we were at a conference, we had a booth, and we were talking to some of our clients, and I wanted to enter them in the system so I could track that lead. Well, because I have our systems, our Dynamics 365 tools on my phone and on my tablet, I was able to just access that right there on my tablet, enter that lead, send them my contact info, all while they are at the booth with me. So it's meant to help you be scalable, meant to help you grow your business, and it's meant to be there for you no matter where you are. It's also wonderful, and one of the most powerful features is how seamlessly it integrates with the entire Microsoft ecosystem. So whether you're using Teams for communication, you're using Power BI for data, using Office 365 for productivity, Dynamics 365 really does tie it all together. Okay. It can also be pretty industry specific. So there's options to do retail or manufacturing or professional services. But really what I think is one of the best features is that it's a pretty horizontal offering. It fits a wide range of your clients and fits most of their needs. And then we get vertical through easy customizations or add-ons like the Power Automate flows, Power Apps to bring in specific applications, ISVs or third parties. So these tools are really adaptable to every customer that's out there. Okay. We also use all of these tools internally. So I'll give you an insight besides just the booth experience of how these things all flow within one another. So for example, we use Business Central for our accounting. We integrate this to customer engagement for things like sales, for customer service. Those are the tickets that come into us because we do professional services. We have project operations because we do projects, so we need to track time entries on those projects. And all of those flow back into Business Central utilizing Open API, utilizing Power Automate. We do all of our reporting with Power BI. So all of these different pieces all sit together in the same platform and are able to integrate and share data with one another. Makes a really powerful system that you get to offer to your clients. Okay, and then lastly, I'm going to talk about biz apps or business applications a few times, just so you know what biz apps are. They are the different applications that make up Dynamics 365. So there's sales that covers things like quoting, leads, opportunities, tracking all of those processes. There is field service. That is like being out on the field, scheduling, dispatching, mobile tools for technicians, really managing those types of services and service orders. There's customer insights. This is taking your customer engagement to the next level. So it is having businesses be able to do personalized real-time marketing campaigns triggered by your different customer actions like purchases or inquiries. And you can do that through email, SMS, push notifications. It really helps manage your communication. There's project operations, and that is project management solutions, and even integrates with Project Online and helps with resource allocation, execution, billing, scheduling. So it's a really in-depth product that allows you to manage your different projects. We also have customer service here, and customer service will track any of your ticketing or your services that you offer and allow you to manage those different channels to be able to work with your customers. And then I show here Business Central. That's the SMB or the small and medium business ERP accounting software. So that not only does accounting, but it does some of these other features in these platforms, but on a smaller scale for smaller businesses. So it really helps empower your businesses to work smarter and achieve more by having these all integrate together. Okay, so how do we identify hidden dynamics opportunities? The truth is, you probably already have a gold mine of opportunities sitting right with you right now. You have clients that you are supporting their infrastructure, you're keeping their systems running, but you are probably walking past those opportunities multiple every single month, and you maybe don't even realize it or know it. So today we're going to talk about how you find those hidden opportunities, how to ask the questions to dig deeper, and to notice or be notified of quick wins that you can have returned back to you that have revenue without even adding more endpoints to manage if you don't want to or can't. So at the basic highest level, most of your clients are probably already using Microsoft 365 that you're helping manage for them. So whether that's Teams communication, Outlook for email, SharePoint for document management, they're already using and comfortable with the Microsoft ecosystem. It's something that they naturally use on a daily basis. So adding the Dynamics 365 platform is a pretty natural progression for what they're going to be doing in their business operations. They're already trusting you for their IT infrastructure, security, IT management. They already see you almost as that trusted advisor when it comes to technology. So by offering Dynamics 365, you're just instilling more comfort with them. It's something completely new, but you're a familiar face. You're enhancing the value of something that you're already providing. So it's going to be a little bit of a shift to move on to cloud-based ERPs or CRMs, but that shift is already happening now. So we're really seeing businesses that were once using on-premise systems like QuickBooks or Sage or Dynamics GP, they're starting to move to solutions like Business Central or Dynamics 365 Sales. So if they haven't already thought about it, then they're probably going to be soon because it's something that is taking place at a higher rate today. The increase of people moving to the cloud is astronomical. So most likely your clients are already looking at doing this and they're just not sure what their next steps are. One of the biggest advantages that you have as their MSP is that you can start bundling different services together. Okay, so if you think about the licenses around Dynamics 365, reselling those licenses and earning revenue, there's implementation services, there's ongoing support, there's managed services, training, or user adoption. So there's tons of different opportunities that you can have here in the Dynamics 365 space. It helps create a higher volume relationship. So your customers become stickier because they rely on you for more. The relationship means more to them long term. Okay. So let's start with some real world red flags here so you can start identifying these opportunities in conversations you're already having, most likely. So if your client is saying something like, we have to pull everything together in Excel and Excel keeps crashing, I'm trying to do my end of the month reporting, that is a red neon sign. Dynamics 365 can help with month-end reporting. So whether that is because it is their accounting system that doesn't have reporting and they need to do financials, whether that is a CRM system that they're trying to find out how many leads and opportunities they have and they can't figure out what those numbers are, whether it's that they need analytical reporting, Dynamics 365 can cover those. So if you hear Excel is crashing, I'm rushing to get my reporting done, it's that time of the month that I'm stressed out, this is a great way to pull into that conversation. What part of that process is not working for you? And lean into that. If they're mentioning that closing their books takes 2 weeks or worse, they can't even close them at all, that is an excellent opportunity for an ERP system like Business Central. If they're doing double entry in systems, let's say they have QuickBooks and a disjointed CRM system, and they have to do double entry between them. That's a really great place to talk to them about Dynamics 365 sales or customer service. And Business Central will say, it brings in the Power Platform, so you can do integrations into the two systems, help that data flow seamlessly. Or even if they're already on something like Dynamics 365 Customer Engagement, one of those applications, but they are using a different ERP system. Let's say they aren't ready to change ERP systems. They don't have to. You can use things like Power Automate to help that integration be built between the two systems. So there's varying levels of what they're able to implement at a time. The great thing about them being all on one platform is that they integrate together seamlessly, but it can be a phased integration. You don't have to do everything at one time. Okay. Sales leaders, if they're complaining that they don't know what's in the pipeline, that they don't know about leads, the leads are falling through, they don't have new opportunities, they can't track their metrics. That is a wonderful, very easy cue for you to start talking about Dynamics 365 sales. Okay. The other one that I just always say, if people are saying that they run their whole business out of Excel, that's a really good place to say, that's not the safest choice. We have other tools that we can use. So let's not duct tape everything together with a spreadsheet. We are able to help you out with your operations, and it's probably going to be a good fit for Dynamics 365. Now we talk about, I've said a few times, it's a great cue to talk about Dynamics 365 sales. But sometimes it's just not feasible for you to know everything about these different products. So I just like to always remind people, if you don't want to be the expert, but you still want to offer these tools or these services to clients, there's different ways and different levels that you can do that. So I talk about a few of the challenges or things that may make you a little bit nervous about talking about Dynamics 365 and just how you can make plans around that, okay? So if I was thinking about different challenges that you might have, actually a client might have in terms of coming over into this space, a lot of clients are going to talk about budget constraints. Okay, they're worried about how much it costs, but they want a lot to be done. So you can talk to them about starting small. I mentioned a phased approach. There are options that are affordable and scalable and easy to implement. And you just have to find that cost-effective balance between their hopes and dreams and their reality. Just like anything that they're going to implement in kind of the technology world, there can be higher price points on things depending on how big they want them. But that doesn't mean that there's not a great solution that's affordable for them. So we look at things that are scalable, subscription-based, in the cloud, so there's not physical servers to purchase. And so this doesn't have to be an expensive transition for them. Sometimes they're also just resistant to change. They are retiring in a few years and they don't want to move before then. They're worried about what the cloud means. So part of what we are setting you up for is how to have those conversations. How can change not be so scary? And part of that too, again, you are probably already their trusted advisor. You work with them quite a bit, and this is going to help put a little bit of comfort with them. So we'll talk about a few ways that you can leverage that information and make them a little bit less resistant to change. They also don't have a lot of IT experience internally sometimes, so they really lean on you for that information and to be that expert. So this is a great way to enhance your expert knowledge, to talk about not only the technical side, but the business process expertise as well. Okay, and then oftentimes clients are just, oh, it's broken, I need to fix it right now. That's really scary when you're talking about things like financials or your sales pipeline or your processes. So it's important to also talk to them and help them strategize about implementing solutions and preventing those issues before they arise. So that's really where Dynamics 365 fits in pretty well, because we can offer that automation, offer the analytics and streamlined business processes that help eliminate those inefficiencies. Okay, so key takeaway here, MSP clients really struggle with cost concerns, resistance to change, lack of internal IT knowledge, and short-term thinking. So by offering business solutions like Dynamics 365, you really can help them overcome these barriers while positioning yourself as their strategic technology partner, okay, not just their IT support provider. Now, there's different departments that you might want to talk to figure out where those opportunities lie. Now, you often are talking to their internal IT if they have it, but the reality is not all of the clients do. And sometimes you get those opportunities to talk to other groups. Now, not to say the IT team doesn't know this, because we all know that the IT teams have a better insight into what's going on across departments than we realize. But different ideas are, if you're talking to the sales and marketing team or you hear from IT, ask them if they have a CRM system. Most times they're going to say, kind of, but it's usually something like Outlook and a spreadsheet. That's a perfect opportunity for us to start looking at Dynamics 365 sales as a huge step up. And it can be a small phased implementation as well. So it doesn't have to be all or nothing right in the beginning. They can start out and grow within the system very easily. It can even start off with things like automated follow-ups for them, integrated email tracking, AI insights. It's a really great way for them to go from very manual and tracked haphazardly in spreadsheets to a system that's reminding them to follow up on their leads and helps them expand their business. If you're talking to an operations team, if you're hearing that there's bottlenecks everywhere, processes are broken, approvals are stuck in inboxes, teams are waiting for paper-based information, inventory number is wrong, that is a really great indicator that they need a review on their operations. So whether that's using something like field service, because they have people in the field that need tablets of information on where they're going next, whether that's their accounting team that needs something like Business Central or a custom app to be built to fit their needs, you are able to notice through those types of conversations that maybe something is amiss and needs to be updated. There's also finance. So this is pretty big because a lot of clients are on QuickBooks and they're outgrowing it, or it's the QuickBooks desktop that's being sunsetted, right? There's different versions of QuickBooks that's going away. Ask them how long it takes to reconcile. Ask them how often something is wrong or is broken or they can't log in and access those company files. Talk about how many people have to touch a certain type of document before it's finished or completed. So if the answer is that it's messy or it takes forever or I need 15 people to approve something before I can even get to a different window, then your answer is that you probably have a Business Central opportunity on your hands to talk to them about how to get onto a better ERP system. Right? And when do you do these types of conversations? Right? You don't have to do huge marketing campaigns. You don't have to do email blasts. You can do these types of things in your daily conversations with them. Check in with them, see how they're doing, ask them what their plans are for the second half of the year or for 2026. Turn this into finding out how they're doing and then turn it into an opportunity for yourself here. So for example, if you're doing a tech review or a quarterly business review, you can ask just a few questions. How are you tracking customer interactions? Do you have manual processes that are driving your team crazy? Is there anything that you wish that you could automate? These questions really help open up. Once you get someone who's talking about their pain points, then sometimes it's hard to get them to stop. So you want them to be comfortable, talk about what's going wrong, and really listen. Listen to what they need to make their day a little bit better. And that's usually where these opportunities are going to come across. Okay. You can even do it when you're reviewing their app stack internally. So take a look at what business apps they're using. If they have a Frankenstein mix of different softwares or different pieces or duct tape systems, they're relying heavily on Excel, or they're talking about using Excel for their business symptom, that's a great way to know, well, yep, we got to talk a little bit more about what your processes are. So if you hear that they're managing forecasts or inventory or customer notes in Excel, that's an excellent alert in that conversation to say, hey, I might have something better for you. But But even if they reach out to you and say, I need a workflow or an approval, I'm waiting on so and so to approve something, but she's on vacation. I don't really know what to do. I can't get this checkout in time. Well, that's an opportune moment to talk about Business Central or Power Automate to automate workflows, to automate processes and approvals for them. Okay. So we start to understand what the opportunities are, but like I mentioned, sometimes it's you're just not quite sure where to start. So there's a few different ways. Honestly, you can do it a few different ways. The first topmost one is the Microsoft Partner Program. So an MSP can definitely go through resell for Dynamics 365, do licenses directly with clients, or refer them to a partner, and still earn a margin. So if you're already a Microsoft CSP or a cloud solution provider, it's a good natural extension kind of to your offerings because you're already selling licenses. It lets you add biz apps alongside Microsoft 365 and Azure. And just because you're a Microsoft partner doesn't mean that you actually have to be the one who's implementing, unless of course that's something that you're interested in doing, but you can still own those opportunities and those relationships and not be the one who's actually owning the implementation after you identify that opportunity. So when you are coming across those instances and you go, okay, well, I have this opportunity, they're interested, I don't really know, I don't have the tools to demo it, I don't have enough to scope out a project, that's where it's a really great idea where you can partner with someone to actually do those portions. So that is one thing that we do. You can really find other partners. We're not the only one out there. But you really, if you're not interested in actually implementing or doing those services yourself, it's great to co-sell with someone because then you are bringing on that opportunity, but not having to own that through the life cycle, but still earn revenue from it. Okay, so for an example, let's say that you do identify there's a perfect opportunity for Dynamics 365 sales. The customer sounds high level interested, but you need a demo. You can contact a partner and email out and say, hey, Michaela, I've got this customer. They would love to see Dynamics 365 sales. Are you able to show that to them? And she responds back, yep, we schedule a time for a demo. You come along with your client and they decide that it's something that they'd like to move on with, then that partner will scope out the implementation and help implement that, keeping you in the loop as much as you want to. Okay. Now, when you do that, I'll talk a little bit more about the things that you want to work on with a partner to make sure that you remain financially involved, even if you don't necessarily want to be involved from the project standpoint. We'll touch on that in a little bit. Another way that you can just get started on the smaller side is something like Power Platform automations, Power Platform tools like Power Apps or Power BI. Those are smaller things, smaller applications that are easier to dip your toes in if you're interested in doing things like services. So for example, if you wanted to start out small, you could do automated approvals with Power Automate. You can do dashboards with Power BI. It really all depends on what your comfort level is and what you want to become an expert on, because it does take time. Final thoughts around this one. There's multiple ways for MSPs to really monetize Dynamics 365. So whether that's you doing licensing and actually implementing or co-selling, or even just a lightweight business automation, the key is that there's a right approach that's going to align with your business model, and you can start small and scale up from there. Common challenges that MSPs talk about when they're trying to work with Dynamics 365. Some of the biggest challenges that MSPs face is just the increasing complexity of customer demands, right? So customers expect more and more and more from us, but don't want to pay for it, or they want these grand solutions. That is where Dynamics 365 can really help you, because you can offer the bigger solutions, but because it's on the cloud, subscription-based, it's usually easier to manage over a long-term relationship with them. The biggest thing about going into Dynamics 365, if you decide you don't want to co-sell with partners, is that you would need to hire and retain talent, right? There's a growing skills gap in the IT industry around even implementation and professional services. So finding the right talent is sometimes difficult. and also just how much that talent demands in pay, right? It's a specialized kind of industry in Microsoft. So you can either hire the experts, you can become an expert yourself by learning, or you can work with different partners. Okay. And then also just understanding clients' needs. So if you have in-house people who are really great with business processes, who are great with financial workflows and sales operations, perfect. But if you aren't, or if you don't, that's okay. You don't have to know all of those things. That's where co-sell comes in handy, because it's people who specialize it in a daily basis. Okay. If you decide that you like Dynamics 365, you have lots of opportunities, you don't think that you want to hire a specialized team or learn it yourself, and you want to find a process for co-selling, I do recommend that you take the time to find the right strategic partner. Okay. That partner should really fit your business beliefs in a sense. So, for example, if you are a really family-friendly company, human-centric, client value first, when you are looking for your strategic partner, make sure that they have the same beliefs as you. You want to work closely with these partners, and you want them to treat your clients the same way that you treat them. So look for people who have similar ways of working. It will make that experience better for you and for your client. Okay. A lot of times when we work with MSPs, because we work with MSPs quite a bit, that's actually kind of one of our niches, is that we work very closely with MSPs in this process. And a lot of the questions that we get are, logistically, what does this look like for us to partner with you? And the answer is, we can be acting as your extended team. Okay, you can stay the primary contact for your client. We can handle the heavy lifting of scoping, of implementation, customization for support, but we really can be that added team member from a sense for you with your client. We work with you on that client relationship, and we both should benefit from that value of being partners in this space. Okay. The ultimate goal is to allow you to offer new services without the stress of hiring or training new staff. The other question we get a lot is, what additional workload does this bring to my staff and my team? And the answer really should be very little. After you introduce the opportunity to your client, you can be as involved as you want to or not. So we have some partners who come to the demos, and once they have sold the scoping process, they don't attend those scoping calls. But once we're delivering the estimate, they show up as a support contact. And then once the project begins, they just choose not to be in status calls. We have some that choose to be in every single status call. So it's really going to be finding your comfort level and how much you'd like to be involved throughout the process. Okay, so your team can focus on what you do best. Manage your IT, your cloud infrastructure, your security, and don't overload your team with things like ERP or CRM if you don't want to be. And then the biggest question is, what is in it for the MSP to be co-selling? Honestly, you should be getting new revenue streams when you're co-selling. So whether that is licensing, if you choose to hold the license, or managed services, you can do those. You'll have the higher client retention rate because you become a little bit stickier when you offer more solutions to your client, as well as how you're positioned in the market, right? You are really just like a virtual CIO, right? You are their trusted advisor when it comes to these applications. So you'll definitely want to make sure that whatever partner you work with is offering some revenue for you as well through that co-sell. Okay. So what I mean by that is things like a margin that you get from any of the sales that are earned with that client. For example, some of your partners will give you a percentage based off of sales, whether that's top line or from the margin. It just depends on which partner you work with. So make sure you're asking those questions and reviewing any partnership agreements as you're doing that. Now, how do you find the right partners? So the right partner comes through different research. So whether that's by attending events, doing peer groups, word of mouth is really huge. Also, if you work with any of the providers like Pax8 or Ingram or any of those, ask them which partners they work with. If they have any that they recommend, going to their different events, conferences, trade shows is a great way to start finding different partners to work with. But also ask other MSPs. Find out who they work with. Go on LinkedIn. Check the people that everyone's working with, because reputation really is important for you. You want to know that it's going to be a great relationship. Okay. You also, like I mentioned, you want to evaluate their capabilities and their fit. Make sure that they have the same beliefs with their clients as you, that they'll take care of the clients the way that you would want them to, that they take care of you the way that you would want to, and just make sure it's an overall fit. And again, lastly, establish that partnership agreement and terms. Make sure that you are comfortable with the way that the relationship will work out in the end. Okay. Different benefits. So you'll get access to the specialized expertise and resources. You have enhanced service offerings. You have cost savings. So really the great thing about working with partners is that you're able to reap the benefits without having the cost necessarily. Okay. But let's go back to talking about those opportunities and give you some real world examples, and then we'll go into a couple of questions that we have examples for too. So we did a couple of case studies with ways that we're working with MSPs. So the first one of the common challenges that we've seen with small to mid-sized businesses is financial disorganization. So lots of companies rely on spreadsheets and disconnected tools. They're trying to manage their accounting on spreadsheets and disconnected tools, which can lead to inefficiencies, errors, all kinds of issues, right? But we had an MSP that brought us their client. We were able to do a demo with them. We did a few demos actually on the general access in Business Central, on how inventory and sales worked, and also actually specifically how well Copilot worked in Business Central. With that, they decided to move on to the scoping process and have their implementation scoped, which was a paid engagement that the partner then earned some margin revenue off of. And then after we delivered that estimate, they decided to move forward and do the implementation, which the implementation, the partner also earned that margin on throughout the life cycle of that project and the support after. So benefits for the MSP, they held the licensing for Business Central, and they also got the referral commission for all of the professional services on each one of those different steps, the scoping, the project, and the post support. The other one was the sales team. So pretty similar. It was a different MSP who came through and had a client who was happy with the ERP system that they were on, but they had trouble with their CRM systems, and they didn't like what system they were using and really needed a new one. So after we did demos, we did scoping, they ended up implementing Dynamics 365 Sales and had that up and running within just a couple of months, and they were able to be live. And on that one, again, licensing, referral commissions, and then support afterwards. So pretty great process for all of us. Everyone kind of reaps the benefit from that. So what you should be doing, I help identify those clients who might need Dynamics 365. Go through your list of your clients, check out what applications they're using, maybe support tickets that they've had, or conversations. Do technical reviews with them. Talk to them about their needs or their pain points with their systems. Decide, do you want to partner with someone for implementation and support, or do you want to take this on internally and start getting to know how to implement the Dynamics 365 products? Don't forget, attend every event or webinar that you can find on it. So we have quite a few every month. We have a whole event portal if you're interested, but there's lots of YouTube videos. There's lots of information out there just to start learning about what the product does. If you want to as well, you can also invite your clients to our webinars. When we know that they come from you, we let you know that they've attended. So make sure you keep that communication open and let us know if you're inviting people so that we can connect you to those opportunities. And then start small. If you are interested in doing this, you don't have to be an expert or a pro at suggesting every system or identifying every opportunity. If there's one system that you find easier than the other, start with those and then grow out from there. I put together a few more examples of some questions to talk through with your clients, talking about scalability and growth, their technology challenges, customer service challenges, or their CRM needs. So when you get this deck, pull out some of these questions and things to help you talk through them with your clients, or even readjust some of the slides to be useful for you when you're having these phone calls. I'll also send over lots of cheat sheets for you with other questions and information about opportunities and processes as well. You can even get into industry specific needs. So if you have people who are from specific industries, you can start asking them questions. If you're not sure what questions to ask for different industries or different products, just let us know. We're always happy to help you have these conversations or prep you. And then lastly, I have here, just you'll get a follow-up email from us with this recording, with this deck. I have a couple of cheat sheets for you, info on the partner program if you are looking for a partner, and then also some client deliverables if you wanted to hand them out to clients about Dynamics 365, all kinds of things. Next week is PAX 8 Beyond. If you guys are going to be there, we will be too. So please stop by at booth 211 just to chat. If you have questions, I'm happy to talk to you. I'll be there myself as well as quite a number of our partner success team. So please stop by and just say, hey, we'd love to see you guys in person. If you're looking for any boot camps or webinars on Dynamics products, please visit our website, truenorthdynamics.com/events to see a list of our activities. Our next quarter's events are being released and planned through the rest of the year as well. So with that, thank you so much. I don't see any questions in the chat, but if you need anything, please let us know. You're able to email partnersuccess@truenorthdynamics.com at any time or reach out. If you already have a partner success manager or know any of us here at True North, feel free to reach out and we're happy to chat with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and we'll all chat soon.